Well, somebody got this idea that if we just start putting a pound in front of our conversation and call it, what do they call it? What is it? PBB, this one here, Podcast Boot Camp something? Yeah. PB 2009, PB 2010 or something like that. People started putting pounds just so that they could find their own conversation within the mix. That's all it is. In fact, Twitter didn't invent it. The users did. The nerds did. The nerds were like, how can we make it so we can only talk about amongst each other? And so that's why they started putting pound symbols in front of things, and it just took off. Now that's how we find a conversation with something. We just start saying, pound this. All right, now I'm going to say something. And that's all it is. So if you ever thought, well, this is really complex and hard to understand, same with @reply. It's just, basically, the email @symbol, and then saying the name of the person and replying to them. So, I mean, when I first got on Twitter, the way that I started getting a huge pile of clicks and a huge pile of, traffic to my websites was by finding somebody with like 40, 50,000 people following them and going, @reply, Joe Smith, hey, I just did this really cool update to my website. It's a lot like what you've been talking about this week. And all of a sudden, all of his friends would go and click on my link for me, all right? Because he'd probably reply back, and we kind of, so, anyway, stats on Facebook. If you knew what time of day to tweet, would you get life-changing traffic? It sounds like something Corey would say. But anyway, interestingly enough, we found out the stats have been kind of proven to say that the best time of day is between 3 and 4 o'clock to post on Twitter.
Pacific or Eastern?
Pacific or Eastern. Actually, the way it's been done, it's been normalized to whatever time zone that person's on, But basically, the gist is, I think that's pretty much Pacific, because when Dan did the study, he was doing it from California, so it must have been Pacific.
Okay.
But what do they call it? Anyway, so time of day. Weekends, just like on, but also Thursdays. Thursdays and weekends were best for Twitter. And so posting in the afternoon, evening-ish, Thursdays and weekends for best results. But anyway,